Well, hey there, folks. Happy Monday, and welcome to our next installment of the Year of the Inner Child. I'm so glad to be here with you today as we continue to explore the ways that we can really reparent ourselves. And today's topic is a huge one: touch. When we experience trauma or when we experience neglect of affection, attention, nurturing, our relationship to touch is not developed. And of course, we understand these concepts of good touch, bad touch. And this also begins to change the way that our body reacts and responds to touch. We can become very activated, triggered by touch, and we lose our connection to good touch. Oftentimes when we're taught, even when we're teaching children, we focus on bad touch, what to avoid. And I just want to put a little PSA announcement out there at the very beginning of our conversation today, that also be sure to talk with yourself and with your children, if you have them or children who are in your life, about good touch. We need to have both sides of that conversation so that we don't kind of just focus on the negative. And so our relationship to touch, receiving, and giving can be very, skewed and impacted. And this is definitely an area that we have to focus on reclaiming or building as we heal and move into being thriving adults. So let's read a little bit here. I can touch and be touched. Today, I will affirm myself as a sensual being. This simply means that I have senses, okay? This isn't sexual being, sensual being. I can use my sense of touch to help me know things, feel things, express things. I will nurture my inner child and myself by giving and receiving physical affection. So right there, that might be a place where you're going to start to get curious with yourself. I know that oftentimes those of us who've experienced abuse are much better at giving than receiving, even in this category of touch. And so do a little pulse check with yourself here. Can I give touch? Can I receive touch? Am I able to do both? Am I able to do neither? And this is going to maybe help you start to focus on where you need to, put some attention in your healing work. As a baby and later as a child, my needs to be touched, talked to, and held with affection went unmet. A hunger born of neglect developed inside me, a yearning to be touched and lovingly held. Because my parents didn't touch me, I was certain that no one would ever want to touch me. So this first piece is about the neglect of touch, right? As opposed to traumatic, sexually abusive touch. The other way that our relationship to touch can be skewed is if we just didn't receive any affection, right? So whether it was neglect or whether it was sexual trauma, what's true is that we end up with a resistance to touch. And my need to touch, I resist my need to touch and be touched by becoming stiff and tense. Okay, so then we start to think about, so how do I show my resistance, right? What happens in my body? Really becoming aware of and noticing your reactions and responses to touch. Are you holding your breath? Do you tighten all of your muscles? Do you start to tremble? Do you dissociate? Okay, really starting to understand those somatic responses. Another response is to be blasé, right? Like, oh, it's no big deal, whatever, right? To be tough, right? To keep my deepest fear a secret, the fear that I am unlovable. Reaching out to others with spontaneous affection can release within me a wellness, a wellspring of joy. Think about that. The accessing joy through touch. I think that's really powerful. Today, the invitation is to reach out and celebrate your ability to touch and be touched. And listen, sometimes the place where you have to start is with yourself. So beginning a nice self-touch practice. Yes, that can be masturbation, that can be sexual, but it can be just a nice massage. It can be just holding your face. It can be just starting to actually connect with your body, okay? So there are all these beautiful ways that we can restore our relationship with touch. We can claim it as a place of joy, connection, happiness. What are some of the associations that you currently have with touch? Dangerous, bad, scary. And what are some of the new associations that you would like to begin claiming or building? Nurturing, fun, joyful. So really take some time today and explore this invitation of touch. Look for those little opportunities. Begin to reframe what touch means for you. For those of us who've experienced sexual abuse, we were not introduced to touch in a safe, healthy way. But that does not mean that here today in our adult lives that we can't explore and experience touch in all of the beauty and power that it brings. All right, y'all. So I look forward to hearing from you. Share your questions, comments, ahas. And as always, if I can be a support to you in your journey, I'm here. And until next time, take good care of you.